let's review what a binary acid would be. First of all, if it's binary, that means it's going to contain two elements. If it's an acid, hydrogen is one of those elements, and it will be written at the front of the formula. So, an example of something like this would be HCl. And then I'm going to write some letters after it, the letters AQ. AQ stands for? Aqueous. Wonderful pronunciation. Stands for aqueous. Though aqueous is not necessarily wrong, it's just not the way that most chemists pronounce it. But the word aqueous means dissolved in water. Aqua is water. So now to name binary ionic compounds, here's the set of rules. First of all, we say that binary acids are named as acids only when dissolved in water. Otherwise, they are named as binary molecular compounds. So, the convention looks something like this. The convention is that we have a hydro prefix and we have an IC acid suffix. And in the middle of the name, we have the root name of the other element. So hydro prefix, root name of the other element, and then an IC acid suffix. That means that if we want to name HCl, we would call it?
Hydrochloric acid.
Hydrochloric acid, good. Anybody know where we find hydrochloric acid?
In the stomach.
In your stomach, wonderful. That is another name for it is gastric juice. And if you use it to etch cement floors, it's called muriatic acid. So it goes by a couple other names. And it is the acid that is added to swimming pools when you try to maintain the pH. If your pH is too high, you bring it down using hydrochloric acid. Or so you could just vomit a bunch into it, and that would work too, right? Okay, now, that's when we show it as aqueous. Again, this would be hydrochloric acid. But now, if we were to have HCl in the gaseous phase, that is, when it's not dissolved in water, then we name it as a binary molecular compound. So how do we name this as a binary molecular compound? Very simple, yes, hydrogen chloride. Usually we leave the prefix mono off of these. So the prefix mono is used in rare instances like in carbon monoxide. Whoops, and now I'm writing it wrong. I'm trying to write and talk at the same time. I can't always do that well. Hydrogen chloride would be the name of it when it's not dissolved in water. Now, if we want to go in the other direction, let's think of something like this. Hydroiodic acid. hydroiodic acid. Again, we see a hydro prefix and an IC acid suffix. The hydro prefix on there is going to tell us that this is a binary acid. So the two elements that are going to be present in here will be hydrogen and iodine. Now to get the formula, we need to find their charge. And I am working on the wrong day here. Let's find the right day. This is the 11th. Here's my periodic table. What is the charge on the hydrogen?
Negative. Oh, that's the other one.
Yeah, it's going to be positive 1, right? And the bromine's going to be?
You mean iodine?
Iodine, yes. I'm thinking ahead. We're going to do bromine here probably next. One negative, right? So it's a single positive and a single negative. So now we go ahead and put in the single positive and the single negative. The formula becomes what?
HI.
HI, yes. And to make this technically correct, we should add in AQ as a phase label. What I will say though is that chemists, when we communicate with each other, we very often understand the context in which it is used. And so even though it's technically correct with AQ, if we talk about what is the formula for hydrogen or hydroiodic acid, we simply write it as HI. And I don't think you need to worry about it in mastering chemistry. I do believe it's going to give you the correct context, so you don't have to be asking yourself, do I add an AQ in or do I not add it in? Typically, if you see the name of it, either answer would be accepted with or without the phase label on it. However, remember, if you're going the other direction, if you had seen something like HI in the gaseous phase, we would then call this one hydrogen iodide. Hydrogen iodide as the name. Okay. Now, just to show you that it's not always one of each atom that's in there, let's say that we had something like hydrosulfuric acid. If we had hydrosulfuric acid, hydrogen, based on its position in the periodic table, would have a charge of 1 plus. Sulfur here would have a charge of 2 negative. So with a single positive and a 2 negative, and let's put it in here, H plus, S has a 2 negative charge. The formula would be H2S. To make it technically correct, we'd put in AQ. And again, this is with a hydro prefix IC acid suffix. Now, if we were going the reverse direction, and this is a gas, we would then call it almost. That is actually one proper name, but to be more correct, it would be, this is a binary molecular compound, so we need to add in our prefixes.
Hydrogen
Dihydrogen sulfide. Dihydrogen sulfide is how we would name it going the reverse direction. Now, chemists, it's another one of these times we'll break the rule, and hydrogen sulfide is another name that we use for it.